What is going on? Good morning to you. Holy smokes. I actually slept till I think about 8 this morning, and if you know me at all, it's like I feel like I've pissed half the day away. But I feel pretty good. I feel great. And the plan was this morning, what's up, Josh? The plan was this morning to divide and conquer the youngins. Meg was gonna take Finn to CrossFit, which 8 years old and wants to do CrossFit this morning. That's cool. And then Liam and I were gonna go. Shit, I forgot the library book. I'll get it later. And Liam was gonna head over to jiu-jitsu with me. They've got open roll this morning, which is where, that's where I'm headed. And this will actually be the first time I've gone down to the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu open mat and been able to hey, there it is. I was actually singing this song to myself, waiting for a reconnection. And I'm back. So I'm really excited to go in and get some rolls in. I'm both excited and disappointed. You know how it is. You just kind of want to get a little one-on-one time, a little hangout time with the kids. And so we chose to do something different this morning, and I got to be okay with that. And I am okay with that. So on my way to the jiu-jitsu, and what's funny is I was trying to leave jiu-jitsu last night, and I was on my way out the door. What's up, Kelly? Joel? I was on my way out the door from the jiu-jitsu last night, and if you've seen me talk or if you've heard me talk, I rave about it all the time, and I went to a Dad 2.0 event this past weekend, and my jiu-jitsu instructor, Tony, he goes, thanks, Jeff, I hope I don't have an accident either. There's supposed to be a way where I swipe it and I don't even see the comments. So I went to the Dad 2.0, super awesome, and I couldn't shut up about the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and Tony asked me about it. He goes, "Hey, did you tell anybody about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?" I said, "Yeah." It's like I was telling all kinds of people just the confidence and the difference that I've seen in my children, myself, and myself, to just be in there and have the experience of growing with these other men and women and learning how to control our bodies and our processes is just an amazing thing. I mean, I left last night and I told him, I was like, "You son of a bitch, I was trying to leave," and he wrote me right back in. But I was telling everybody about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and just how, just what a difference it is versus, we had our children in karate and we had them in Jiu-Jitsu as well, the traditional Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, and all of them were fine, all good places for the children to be. But the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is something else. It's where they really get down and grapple, and they use what they're learning right away, like hands-on. It's not like you're not fighting air the whole time. And I just love seeing my children advance through that, and I also love advancing through it myself. So when he asked me, I was like, yeah, I can't shut up about it, because I'd mentioned that it is, honestly, it's something that I didn't recognize or realize was missing in my life. It was not just the camaraderie, but the kind of, I'm just going to use these terms loosely, the mind and body mastery. When I was leaving last night, he goes, "Listen, Brandon, one of the things," Tony says, "Brandon, one of the things that you do is you kind of leap into things and you put yourselves into bad situations." And I'm like, "Yeah, because I have no idea what I'm doing yet, and the only way I know how to do something in terms of like wrestling or football or any sport activities is try to use your speed to close a gap, right? To gain that control." And so I still have a lot of work to do, obviously, and I'm doing it, and I love that. I love that I need to learn how to control my body. It's a great feeling. Other things that happened at the Dad 2.0 event, I must have gotten, I think, over 400 men there, and I connected with at least 60, one-on-one not necessarily just saw them in the space. So I wouldn't say I connected with 400 men. I'd say I connected usually with about 60 men over about a three and a half day period. And there were a lot of men in there and women. There were a lot of people there that have like this big social following. They're basically, the internet stars, and actually to some TV network star. Some people that have, and my current thing is like stepped into their greatness. They have done the work. They have put the time in, and they have the life that they want. And it's pretty cool to see that, because it gives you hope. It gives you, not only gives you hope, but you understand that the primary difference between you and some of these people is that they have put the time in, they have put the work in, and they haven't given up. And they stopped waiting for other people to put the time in for them. Today, so yesterday I released, I'm doing a mini-sodes on the podcast, so if you go to Fatherhood for the Rest of Us and hit on the podcast link, you'll see the most recent podcasts, or all the podcasts. But I'm doing mini-sodes where I simply just talk to these guys one-on-one and just get a couple quick things about what made them step into their greatness. And before I went to this event, I didn't go scoping everybody out. I had no idea who I was talking to. And as far as I was concerned, I was just talking to other fathers, other dads that have stepped into their greatness, who have taken the time to do the hard work, to be living the lives that they want to be living. And it wasn't until after a couple of, so let me rewind. When we got there, we were told a lot of people had the regret of, I wish I'd networked more. I wish I'd gotten to talk to more people. I wish I'd done more connecting. And my first night there, I was feeling a little trepidatious, and I was not exploring the space. I was not really as engaged as I could have been, and part of that just had to do with my own self-doubts, my own limiting beliefs, my lack of stepping into my greatness, and I use the term greatness in of doing something that you want to do for yourself, living the life that you believe that you can live. And I had this mini recorder, and I didn't use it the first night. I felt kind of like an imposter, and I went to sleep on that. I slept on that, and I woke up and I was like, this is bullshit. I said, I can't believe that I'm down here and I'm not doing what I want to be doing. I'm here for this exact reason. I'm here to press record on this fucking recorder. And so the first person I walked up to, and I just did it. I smashed past, this thing that was in my way, and it didn't even have to be smashed past. I just literally got out of my own way and pressed record. And I say all this because the first person that I interviewed, I released the interview yesterday, Brent Papalizio, and he is the creative director and a father. He's a father. That was how I met him first. I just knew that he was there for being a dad. And press record and start having a conversation. You got it, Ryan. The part that's awesome to me is kind of getting past your own shit, right? The second part of all this that makes it awesome is that the first father that I decided to have a conversation with, he has a TV series, he's a producer, he was in the Bud Light commercial over the Super Bowl. If I had known all this stuff before I'd met him and just looked at him as a peer, as a camaraderie, in respects of he's just a father, and I don't say just a father loosely, but I didn't have any expectations when I met him. I just wanted to have a conversation. If I had gone and sought out like all this information, that may have had an impact. So I really enjoy that we were able to have a conversation. I didn't even know like he was all that until after we had our conversation, which is great. He didn't even reference all the amazing things that he's into and does before the conversation. And so it happened a second time. I went and at lunch, grabbed some food, sat down at a table where I didn't know anybody, just started having a conversation. And this guy, Stuart Reynolds, asked me, he goes, Brandon, what are you into? What do you do? And I give him the rundown. I tell him, hey, this is what I do. And he's telling me about what he does. And I'm talking about the stepping into your greatness bit and how that's, I'm just running around pressing record, and that's what I'm looking for and doing. Turns out he's one of the keynote speakers, and that's what he's talking about. That's what he's saying, and that's what I released today. But his message was, don't wait. If you're waiting for somebody to give you permission to be yourself, you're going to be waiting a long fucking time. He didn't say that on stage. That's just the heat of the message coming out of my throat. If you're waiting for somebody else to give you permission to be yourself, you're waiting a long time. If you're having any issues getting there, let's have a conversation. I'm taking one client. That's it. I'm taking one client, and we're going to work towards your greatness, whatever that means to you. If any of what I'm saying here, if any of this is speaking to you, let's talk. And we'll see if we can work something out. But these were some of the things I learned about myself. I learned that I still had limiting beliefs. I learned that I still had things to get through. I'm not done growing. I'll never be done growing. There's always going to be a time when I'm growing. That just doesn't stop. Even when you think you've arrived, there is no arrival point. There is no arrival point. You got to keep going. But anyways, guys, I'm at the jiu-jitsu joint. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to get me some. And I'm going to have some fun with it. We'll talk to you guys later. Take care.